No more playing around, people. This is it, man. It's your boy Charms, aka C Harms, here with the one and only. I'll let him introduce himself, but I know him as the one and only Luda from back in the day.
Yeah,
Obviously, like Luda, the name Charms comes from a different era.
yeah.
But we've definitely grown a lot as men, as individuals. So I would take this time to let my good friend, my dear friend, introduce himself. Tell the people your name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Mr. P.H.D. and me himself, the Quint
Okay.
Johnson Sr., man. The one, the only.
Early, early. So look, I know it's been long overdue, and
Yes.
so I don't wanna waste any time with any unnecessary whatever you want to call it. But I do want to start off by, you telling your story a little. We're diving into your story a little bit, but we're gonna do it in reverse.
Okay.
I want to start off with where you're at now, and then we'll dive into how you got there. And then after that, I got some questions. If you down, we could just run through them and see where it gets us,
Of
man.
course.
Because I
That's
know
why
them
I'm here.
jewels is in there, and I want you to share with the people.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
So, you are currently in the military.
Active duty military.
At the duty military. How many years?
13.
13. It's been
13.
13
It's
years.
been 13 years strong.
It's a long time. Long time. Okay. It's a lot to shout out to all our active military members, man, because without
Yes.
you, we wouldn't be able to celebrate the freedoms and liberties that we have today. So,
Absolutely.
salute to that. Now,
Absolutely.
you've active duty,
Yes,
13
sir.
years. You're also a father.
Absolutely.
Father of
Four.
how many? Four?
Four.
Okay. What's the breakdown
Man,
on
so
that?
the breakdown, two and two, two boys, two girls. The
For
girls
sure.
are the oldest. Of course, the ladies come first,
Yeah.
and they did. So
Yeah.
they always come first for me, and they did. It's a blessing to have those girls first because they motherly instincts, the helper instinct. They helpers by design.
Yeah.
Just like women are designed to be, they natural help of mother and father. So assisting with the things that the boys have going on is
Yeah.
almost like an extra parent in the
So
household.
look, I want you to elaborate on that a little bit because we live in a time where some people might misconstrue that,
Okay.
and you know, people are a lot kind of sensitive nowadays
Right.
to kind of like, because I don't want to say the F word, but a lot of women tend to think that men want them in a certain position due to traditional gender roles or such have you. And I just want you to elaborate on what you mean by the help in that way. Not like the help,
The
but
helpmate.
right, the helpmate. To
Yeah.
give people a better understanding of what you mean by that.
To really unpack the terminology or the title
Yeah.
of helpmate, a woman is by design there to multiply whatever the male plant seed inside her.
Yeah.
So naturally, by nature's design, Mother Nature herself, she designed them to multiply whatever it is that's planted in that womb, in that mental, in her heart. So whatever you're giving a woman, whether it's good or bad, she's gonna multiply it. So
Okay.
that's why, as a helpmate, she has her own purpose, and absolutely with my situation, I'm my wife's biggest fan. I'm my wife's biggest cheerleader, and we kind of alternate the roles where she has taken the back seat and cheered me on so that this family's floor could elevate higher. So you have a ceiling and you have a floor, and the things I was able to do in the last 13 years, it solidified that the lowest that we can fall is a certain level. And she was my only, not only my biggest, but my only cheerleader for those years.
Yeah.
When people were seeing accomplishments met, they weren't seeing the work. When you see a star athlete stand in front of the crowd at the ESPYs, you see that athlete holding up that trophy, but it took more than that athlete to win that trophy.
Yeah. You don't see the trainers and the
You
parents
see
and
the movie, you don't see the camera crew.
right.
But without him, there's no movie. You know, and I always thought of my life as being not literally a movie, but I get to
It's a
direct.
movie, bro.
It's a movie, bro. I get
It's
to
a movie.
direct. I get to produce.
Yeah.
You ever thought about it like that? Like whatever I get out of life, I kind of design, you know, internally and mentally what it is that I wish, that I desire, and I get to put the money up. I get to market it.
Yeah.
I get to tell you when it's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, just like that, I took my life and kind of broke it down just like that. Like, if there's something I want to do in life, I'm going to put my all into it. I'm going to put the right cast around me. That's why I'm here with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't trust everybody with the production of my movie. You see, sometimes you see some of that, the actors might get fired or the director might get replaced, and
Yeah.
we going with a different producer on this one because everybody has their place within that space. But if you're not operating the way I need you to operate in this my movie, I call the shots.
Absolutely.
So she kind of pushes me to that extent where she keeps me on task. She keeps me on time. Hey, did you make it there? Hey, do you need this? I'm gonna pack your bag because you always forget. So that helpmate, she's so much more important than that word, but that's all God gave us to call her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we exchange that role, because if she's trying to do anything, currently the way we sitting in the military, I'm about to be on my way out of the door. And she's a little younger than I am, so she still has those good years left.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now, I'm taking that back seat, that passenger seat, and I'm cheering her on as she's getting promoted, as she's getting more responsibility. And it's kind of like she played that role for so long. She played that backup role for so long, but now the star player, I'm hurt. I'm literally hurt.
Yeah.
So she's done her role to such perfection. Although she wasn't shooting the ball, she still was in the gym working on her shot.
Yeah.
So when I went down with the knee injury, I literally went down with a knee injury, and I'm getting out of the military. Now it's her time.
Right.
I'm on the bench. I'm on the crutches, but I'm cheering her on because I watch her put in that work. I watch her come in the league and not be able to really score and not be as quick as everybody. But now, man, she's operating at such a high level. It's weird to her, but I knew it was going to happen. I called it, and I was like, when it's your turn, we never can live below these means, but you always were the prime factor in the way this family goes. Because when I make money, it's our money.
Yeah.
But I make enough money to take care of all 5 of us, all 6, pretty much. But anything she makes is an additional. It's an additional income. It's an additional asset to our family. So sometimes we get to use those ends to create a new avenue for ourselves. That's why the woman is super important.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the only bread. You want to be, in position, in stature of your family to, be at the authoritative role, but your woman shouldn't be too far behind. Yeah. Even as her leader, you shouldn't allow yourself to outgrow her to that extent.
Absolutely. That's deep. That's deep.
I want to share one thing before we get away from it, because it just touched me. A lot of people admire where we're from. They admire our work ethic in the gym. And a lady asked me the other day, she was like, I got to talk to y'all. I got to ask y'all this. I love seeing you two in the gym together. You always here together. And I said, yeah, it's simple to me. I never want to outgrow my wife. If I'm getting better, I need her right beside me, at least making the effort to get better. I can't come here every day with the intentions of leaving here a better man, and she not follow my lead and come in the gym with me and with the intentions of leaving a better woman. I don't plan on leaving her. I don't plan on leaving her early. So why would I not take care of the only thing on this earth that I own, which is my body, to ensure I'm here an extra day, an extra second. If something goes down and I fall ill, all of that work that you put in prior to falling ill is gonna come into play, whether your heart beats another day or not.
Yeah.
She's not gonna spend this money without me, dog. She's not gonna live that life without me. I'm gonna be right beside her. I watched men for years build these lifestyles, and as soon as they get to the mountaintop, pass away, heart attack or something, drop dead, and now the woman standing at the top of the mountain by herself.
Yeah.
because he didn't take care of the one thing that he owned on. He took care of everything else and didn't take care of the one thing that he actually owns
Yeah.
on this earth, his vessel.
Yeah.
So I make sure that if I'm reading, she reading. If I'm working out, she working out. If I'm walking, she walking. Because I never want to get to that point where I look beside my mate and like kind of outgrowing you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I need you to grow with me. You
Yeah.
know. So that
That's what's up, man. So okay, we're active military. You're a husband. You're a father. You're also the CEO of P.H.D. and me. Now, tell me a little bit about where that came from and where you're at with that now.
so it's approximately what 2018, roughly 2019, end of 2018, early 2019. I was working. I was actually working on my master's degree, and I I was in a program where I was studying all of these topics. I was learning so much about not necessarily unnecessary topics, but just about things that the typical conversation, dinner table conversation never gets to. So I'm learning about world events, business, certain business aspects, learning about how the world is really ran from a business perspective. And
Cause you got a master's in
business administration.
Okay.
Yes. And it was a long journey to get into that. 4 degrees in, 2 associates, bachelor's, masters, and still learning to this day.
Yeah,
You
because
never
we
stop.
ain't gonna just skip over that either.
You can't, because it's a
Yeah.
part of the story. It's a part of
Yeah.
the journey.
Right.
Those like minor degrees, those associate's degrees, they laid the foundation.
Yeah.
And society, they take a backseat in society, but to a person that's coming from poverty, that's not just small feat. That's a great leap from a person who, went to a public school and had free lunch and
Yeah.
going to another level. Just going to college was an adventure, was a journey.
Yeah.
First year after graduating, I just sat home. I thought I was gonna make so much money because I was out of school now, and that wasn't reality.
Yeah.
It wasn't the reality that I was faced with. So
It's definitely the reality that they sell people though.
sell it. Oh, you gonna make this much money? Well, guess what? You give a 18-year-old with a minimum amount of information, not a degree, not a high school diploma. You only have a minimum amount of information.
Yeah.
Plus, you fatherless, so you got less than half of the information you're supposed to have. I can't give like the way the world really works is the more information you have, the more worth that you bring to yourself. A lot of this is about self-worth. A lot of people want money, like they got these millionaire dreams and these, poverty mindsets. You never gonna outthink, reality. You never gonna outsmart. You can't give a 18-year-old $1 million right away like that. You
Yeah.
just don't know enough life. All at that point at 18, bro, I was a consumer.
Yeah.
I was a consumer. If you gave me that $1 million, I just would have gave it to another millionaire, because I would have bought everything that the other millionaire's selling.
Yeah.
Everything. The car, the house, the jewelry, the shoes. Michael Jordan would have had all my money. He don't even need it.
Him and T
He
Mac
don't even need it.
don't even need
He
it
don't
at
even
all.
need it. But that's how we were trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So PhD and me started as a solo situation, or
It was never a solo situation. It was always a conversation via me and my brother Jamie. He's actually my younger cousin, if you want to talk bloodline. But we were raised, because of the way we were raised, he was always my uncle. Because of the magnitude of my family, the dynamics of my family changed with a tragic event. My grandmother was killed in front of all of her kids, and my mom was 6. So with that, happening at such a just early age, it just threw everything. It threw the whole family off dynamic, because when you're dealing with a domestic homicide, you don't lose one parent.
Right.
You lose both parents same time.
yeah.
So
I never knew that.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we met, when we were in Lincoln Village,
Yeah.
a couple of months after we moved out of Lincoln Village was like one of the first times I seen some of my cousins and aunts in a long time.
One
Because
second.
we,
One second.
yeah.
We're gonna edit that part out. But,
So yeah. So with
marker 1521. Mark this out for about 5 seconds. So just take a little chill second. A little chill pill for a second. You like the direction of the interview?
I love it,
Okay.
love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember where we stopped at?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So on that day that the dynamics of my family structure changed.
Oh yeah, you said Lincoln Village is when you ran into a lot of your family again, right? Yeah.
Lincoln Village and the home security days.
Yeah.
That's when we started back making contact with a lot of aunts, cousins, and things like that. Because for so long, once my mom was removed, first of all, we're talking about 60s, early 60s. My mom was born in 1960, so talking roughly 66. Grandmother was tragically killed. Back in those days, nobody wanted girls. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted girls because you know what girls bring. So
Yeah.
everybody shipped the girls out. Everybody fought over the two boys.
Yeah.
So my mom was fortunate enough to land in a pretty good, probably the best spot she could have landed in. So she landed with Jamie's father, which I knew as my grandfather, because raising somebody from 6, you're her dad now. I
Yeah.
don't care what your position was prior to that. That doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So that was her father. His 2 kids were her brother and sister.
Yeah.
And then Jamie came way later, which made him my uncle.
Right.
So my whole time of knowing him, I didn't meet him until later in life either, but because they didn't know about him. But either way, my whole time of knowing him, I was his nephew. You know, until we kind of dove into the story later, and I was like, "Hold on, we cousins, man. That's kind of weird. I'm older than you anyway."
Yeah.
But so we, being absent father child growing up, we look to other males. We gravitate to other males to have that maturity, that maturation process, that bouncing things off of each other, because I don't have the direction, you don't have the direction, but you may have seen or came across something in life that can kind of assist me. So that's how we kind of learned that we could talk to another male through each other.
Yeah.
We would talk about personal issues we were going through with each other, and it was like, man, he had some answers. The boy was always he was goofy, but he was wise. And when I would get him in that atmosphere, when he talked to me, he would talk to me at the level he felt I would. That's why the conversations were always so mature. It was never like, we had our fun where we worked together for a long time, so we had to pass the time.
Right.
But when it was serious, he knew, hey, I got to call you about something. So we would have conversations, we would have dialogue, and we would grow from the conversations, man. Like, as a man, for some reason, we just don't believe anybody else on the earth is going through what we're going through at that same time or ever went through it. It's almost like we're the first ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it definitely makes you feel isolated.
yes,
Yeah.
because we handle emotional events inward.
Yeah.
We internalize the emotion. You know what I mean? And I had to learn that, like, man, I got to learn how to express this, because this will kill you quicker than a bullet. Stress will kill you quicker than a bullet, man.
Yeah.
It'll age you. It'll get you up out of here.
Yeah.
So when I learned, like, it was almost like a game changer. Like, hold on, I can talk to another dude and I can get answers, no judgment. So we did this for years, man. He saved my life. He saved my marriage. And I went to him one day, because I'm a creator. That's what I always did, man. I always was a creator. And I was like, look, man, these conversations we having in private, they are private. But the results, man, gotta be public, man. We can actually change the trajectory of most of these young men's lives, knowing that somebody like this was before the podcast era blew up.
Right.
I don't know how I was so ahead of it, but it just came to me, man. I was like, we gotta get this on film.
Yeah.
So the name P.H.D. in me, it came from all of the work being put in, and when I was attending Limestone College for my master's, everybody was like, man, you got to go get your P.H.D. You got to go get your P.H.D. And I was thinking, like, man, I'm getting all these degrees, but I don't know myself. I don't know. I know more about business than I know about LeQuint.
Yeah.
What you getting this in? What you getting your PhD in? Man, I said I'm getting my PhD in myself, man. I need to learn. I gotta take this thing back to the soil, and I gotta learn me.
Yeah.
Man, I learn what I like. I learn what I like, what I don't like. As a man,
Yeah.
I never really knew how to express. I don't like that. Hey, I don't like that. Hey, don't
Yeah.
talk to me like that. Don't call me that. I never, because in our era that was weakness.
Yeah.
You know, weakness, man. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, I'm getting my PhD in myself.
Yeah.
And that's where the name kind of came from.
Were you ever afraid of what you might find when you look inward like that?
Definitely. I found a lot of things that I thought I knew I didn't know, you know, and I learned a valuable lesson of, I hate the word because it's misused, but I found a lesson about the truth, man. Like, I found out you don't own the truth, man. It ain't even, the truth is whatever you feel like it is, because take me, my brother, my sister, for example. 3 people grew up in the same house, ate the same food, went the same places, went to bed same time. Turned out to be 3 totally different people. We had the same perspective, but a different vantage point. I was always looking at life from a different, most of us taught to look at life for what is.
Yeah.
I taught myself. I don't know if it the Barney era, I don't know what it was, but I never looked at how things were and how bad they were. I always saw what could be, like how.
Imagination is a very powerful
The
tool.
most powerful.
Yeah.
The most powerful.
It allows you to overcome the reality.
It'll shape it.
Yeah.
It allows you to create a new reality. Think about this. Everything aside me, even me and you, everything on this planet, probably besides nature and trees, man architect.
Absolutely. From his imagination.
From,
That's
know-
that's powerful.
you know how my kids got here? I saw that fine woman, and in my mind, I knew I could be with that woman. It started here.
Yeah.
That woman thought she could have me. I thought I could have her. It
Yeah.
didn't just, you know what I mean?
Right.
So everything, man, everything from this table, this book, everything, man, everything you could put your hands on, even your hands,
Yeah.
started here.
Yeah.
So I taught myself that no matter how hard things were, I took the lessons, man. I just took the lumps, like, you know what? I never do that again. I never have to live with anybody again. I never have to ask for a ride. I never have to borrow money. So all of the things that people were ingesting as the worst things that could happen to them, I took it as that's the best.
Yeah.
If that's the best you got and I made it through, that's why. If you script a person that built everything from the ground up, they can get it again.
Absolutely.
But if you script a trust fund baby, he jumping off something, man. He finding something tall, and he getting up off of it. He gonna find something tall, and
he out of here. Yeah, he out of here.
because he don't know how to recreate that.
Right.
You could take anything from me and you, bro. We'll have 2 of them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we done been there. I walked before, bro. I walked this exact town. I almost know how many steps it is from one place to the next, man. Me and my mom and my brother and sister, we used to walk, man.
Yeah.
We used to walk this whole town. And
Yeah.
people that would leave from the apartment complex that we walked from would blow the horn when they passed us, man.
Yeah.
One time, man, I found myself one time getting upset. Like, no, they leaving. They know they got enough room in the car.
Yeah.
but I never got angry with them. I took the situation as this, man. Like I would go into my imagination as we walked up and down the street, and I just play. I'll just make a game out of it until we got to the store. I hated grocery shopping. Most kids now love grocery shopping because when we get done, we're gonna get in the nice GMC Yukon. It got like 8 seats. We go put the food in the back. Every piece of food that my mom picked up, bro, I was like, because I know I had to tote it.
Yeah.
I know I got to tote it. I had to put them around my arms all the way up to the shoulder, the bags.
Yeah.
The milk, I got it. Because I knew my sister couldn't carry it. I knew my mama wasn't carrying it. So the things that would excite some kids, man, it was devastating.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot of like self-discipline. I learned a lot about myself. Like if this the worst you could throw at me, I'm gonna be all right.
Right, for sure. Okay, so we got, again, just to kind of, you got a long list of achievements, my guy.
The podcast would just be about
Yo,
that if we
listen. And I want to say, coming from that place with you, man, and I'm very proud of you. If I never told you, I'm telling you again for the world to hear. I'm very proud of you, my
I
guy.
mean a lot, man.
So you got active military, 13 years.
Yes.
Man, people don't stay on a job that long. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah.
So military,
Yes.
father,
Yes.
college educated multiple times,
Yes.
business owner,
Yes.
husband,
Yes.
and all of that is where you at currently, right? And you told me the inspiration behind P.H.D. and me, or P.H.D. me, and the inspiration behind why you go so hard, right? But my thing is, now that you're here, and I know you were saying how like coming up with your moms in certain situations and having those experiences like walking to the grocery store and feeling those emotions. Coming from that, when did it start to turn around for you, or when did it start to feel different? Like you said, you had an imagination, and that was a powerful tool for you.
Yeah.
Coming up through those times, like when did you know you didn't want to do what everybody else was doing? You didn't want to be a product of your circumstances. Like when did you get that feeling? Because even when we were young, a lot of the dumb stuff, you just didn't want no parts of that. You know what I mean? Like, and people kept you away from it. You know what I'm saying? So like, when did all that happen? Because it's been like that since I met you. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So it's ironic that you touched this. We're a little ahead of time right now, but I'm gonna share the story either way. So a lot of people don't know this either. When I was 3 years old, I basically ingested poison. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know none of y'all yet when this happened.
Right.
So basically, I lived in a rural area, fields, tobacco fields, stuff like that. So anybody from the country, as we call it, if you stay in those areas, you understand the term when I say we have field mice.
Right.
And those jokers, they kind of big, so they'll kind of come in and infest the whole situation if you don't. Yeah. They multiply quickly. So being that our house was directly in front, my grandmother, we were staying with my grandmother, and being that we lived directly in front of them, you got to take precautionary measures. You got to have poison and all these type of things to keep those out of your house, because we don't supposed to be there. You know how nature works. We move in and impose ourselves on their territory,
right.
And then we get mad at them because they're in our house, and it's like, right. Nah, bro, I used to live here first, right? You colonized me, so so
that's
yeah,
a whole nother rabbit hole.
So yeah, and man, like even being like determined and hard-headed and stubborn, I was always like that. So my mom, like, I don't know how I saw it, but it was this little like bag, and the bag of rat poison, it happened to be like yellow, brown, blue.
Look like
red.
candy.
It looked like candy to you, boy. I'm 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I believe it was a Saturday because of the way I remember it, I remember cartoons, and back when, in the 1900s, cartoons only came on Saturday.
Man,
They didn't come on all day.
1900s. It's actual factual, but to think about it, it's just like, God.
We had a whopping 4 channels, and I was the remote.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, man, I want some of that candy. And I don't know why they got it in the bottom like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild that you don't put candy down there.
Right.
But I didn't, not understanding,
Yeah.
so she was like, you can't touch that, blah, 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 whatever. So,
Yeah, there's nothing more appealing to a child than what you tell them they can't have.
come on, man, you trying to keep me from the M&Ms?
And the cartoons is on?
And Mars
What?
Bars commercial just came on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just dated myself. Mars Bars. That's what that's called. I'm like, man, she ain't not about to stop me. Man.
Yeah.
She can't stop me.
No stopping you.
Man, when she turned, man, a kid is the closest thing to a ninja, man. Like, they lightning quick.
And
they
quiet.
Don't take long.
Real light on their feet.
Man, I got to that bag, man. I was munching, man. And I kind of remember, her screaming and all this stuff like that. And, couple of resuscitations later, couple of color changes later, I'm still here. I always been a fighter, you
Yeah.
know. And that kind of, like, even at 3 years old, man, I was like, hold up. Like, I just can't do what I want. And I don't know if having a near-death experience kind of brought me closer spiritually or matured myself, quicker.
Yeah.
But ever since then, man, I kind of like, I held myself back from the temptations of things that, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, that'll definitely teach you not to be so
If you're
quick
smart.
to indulge. If you're smart.
A wise man learns from their mistakes, you know what I mean? And they don't keep making the same one.
Yeah.
A wise man don't make the same mistake twice.
Right.
So I had a crash course lesson that consequences are real.
Early.
Age don't matter. Don't matter. If you 3 and you touch the stove and it's hot, it's gonna burn you. It ain't gonna be like, nah, he 3, bro, don't do it. Nah, not to him.
Yeah.
He don't know no better. And I learned then that, ignorance is not an excuse. Ignorance ain't even an excuse for no situation. So with that happening to me, it kind of matured me faster than y'all. Because I just got here and I almost, went to the front desk and checked out. I just got here,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just kind of like early, I just kind of knew that, if it ain't for me, don't touch it, don't bother it. So that's why when you met me around 7, 8 years old, I was kind of like,
chill, like,
bro, I almost left here before you want to do that. You might not want to do that,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it
that's
did a
crazy.
lot to me. That was one of the instances, and one of the second instances that plays over in my head that where I really started to mature as a man was how old was I when the Grant Hills came out? You remember Grant Hills?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, that shoe changed my life, man. I
Really?
wanted that shoe so bad, bro. I was never into that type of stuff growing up.
Right.
So this was roughly 96?
90-something.
96, 95?
I think
gotta
right
be
around the time
95.
Live came out.
It's 95, 96. I remember that. And man, I had my pitch, like I had my presentation together, man. I
Yeah.
went to my mom, man. It was my first time asking her for something.
Yeah.
I was like, man, Mom, like I started off with it, like I never ask you for anything. Disclaimer, that means somebody about to ask you for something. I don't never ask you for nothing. I was like, Mom, I never ask you for nothing. It's one thing I want. And she kind of like bust my bubble. Like, yeah, you want that, but the reality of the situation, I'm a single mom, 3 kids. I
Yeah.
work as a crossing guard. I work 2 hours a day. I literally would have to work like a month to get you those shoes. And it was just kind of like, it was gut punching. Like, man, she ain't gonna get them. I'm still gonna get them.
Yeah.
So I found out that, where we came from, there was a situation where they would allow smaller children to, do odd jobs. there was no child labor laws yet.
Right.
So I was allowed to work in this little field, this little tobacco farm, and like pick weeds. We were short, so they kind of used us to pick the weeds out of the ground so that the adults didn't, they can just keep moving along the roads. I
Yeah.
remember that. And we all went out there, and my big sister, I love her to death. She lasted about a couple of days.
Yeah.
But your boy, like, I knew that there was a goal in mind that I was trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm gonna work this job until I get to this goal. Well, the first week I made like $200.
Goal made.
I'm like, I'm like, nah. He gonna give me the 200 for real.
Right.
Man, I came back every day, every day that whole summer. Man, I was able to buy all of my clothes for that year and give my mom money. So to me, that was a defining moment in my maturation process. As a man, at 9, I grew into a man because I did something that most men won't ever do. Set a goal, achieve it, work hard for it, made it honestly. I checked off a couple of lists all because of the desire that I had for those pair of shoes. Right. And I learned that day, like, or that specific summer, if there's something I want and there's something I need, or I gotta find a way to get it. I can't let the two stay apart for too long. I gotta solve that puzzle. I gotta find that middle piece to say, want, how to get it, I gotta put it together. Yeah. That's how my life worked. Like, if there's something that gonna take time to get, I'm gonna start it now, I'm gonna walk it down later, and we're gonna progress every day. I'm gonna take a step forward every day. Every day to get it. Every day, no matter what the end goal is, man, I take a step forward, just one step. Just take a step forward, and ask the question. You might like the answer you get.
Right.
Hey, you'll hire a 9-year-old? Yeah, we'll hire you. Come on. I asked the question.
My grandmother has this thing, man. And she told me this, and she still says it to this day, but it stuck with me. The worst they can do is tell you no. That's the worst. You won't die. You ain't gonna get beat up. Nothing. Just gonna say no. And then you got a billion other different ways to figure it out.
Life's so simple that it's complex. It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple. Think about the things that cost people their life, cost people the most, the highest cost that you can pay. It's usually something so simple, man. It's usually a minor discrepancy.
Yeah.
And attention to detail. That's what we call it in the military. It's just a minor mishaps and attention to detail that can cost you the most. And that's how life is, man. It's just, if there's a problem, it's normally because if you got an engine problem, the engine didn't just mess up all of a sudden. I promise you it was leaking oil. I promise you it needed a full tune-up, and you just didn't get it. Right. It was the minor upkeep that caused the major destruction. That's how your life can be. That's how your body can be. That's how your relationship can be. You gotta take care of the minor stuff. You gotta check. When the check engine light come on, you gotta see what's going on. Don't just ride. Black people ride through the check engine light. 13, 14 years they'll ride with the check engine light on. Then the car blow up on the side of the road and they distraught. Like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get to work. The check engine light been on since 9/6, man. You thought it was gonna go forever.
Yeah. Okay. So you had a life-altering situation at 3.
Yeah.
Then you had an opportunity or a situation that arose that really taught you the disciplines of hard work.
Yeah.
Being willing to go out and do the work to obtain the goal.
Core values.
Right.
Core values.
There you go. So
that's a lot of value in a couple of years.
At what, 10?
At 9,
10, 13, something like that?
I was a grown man.
Early.
I was a grown man.
Okay, so now we're looking into the teenage years.
Yeah.
I know you're heavy into sports.
Yeah.
So when did tell me about these teenage years.
So, a lot of people didn't know that I hit a rough patch, roughly fifth grade. Fifth grade, I went and stayed a summer with my pops, and that was the first time I stayed a summer with him.
Yeah.
And he had a drug issue. We'll say he had a drug issue. And man, some of the stuff I saw with my own eyes, arm length away from me, it should have broke me, man. I should have been probably a professional drug addict because they was doing it right in front of me, man.
Yeah.
And I learned the power of when those drugs get a hold of you, man. It don't care. The
Yeah.
drugs didn't even care. I was his son. He was doing it in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be there working for the summer. So instead of going and working with the other guys that I normally work with, I went with, it's my pops, man. This is my
Right.
superhero, man.
Right.
Like, man, I'm gonna go work out with Superman. I'm gonna go work with Superman. I'm gonna leave y'all alone.
Right.
So God got a funny way of protecting you. And you can't, I learned something like, you can't protect somebody who don't listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I tell my kids, I tell my wife the same statement. I can't protect you if you don't listen to me. Because I'm gonna tell you the right thing, but you're gonna do whatever you want to do.
Right.
And I can't protect. That's when the line is blurred. So I say all that to say, as a young boy, I was wondering why my dad wasn't in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got a first-hand class in why he wasn't.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So God got a funny sense of humor of, protecting don't always feel good. It don't always, it ain't comfortable.
Right.
If you driving a long distance, wearing that seatbelt ain't comfortable, man. I swear
Yeah.
it's nice all around my neck and
Yeah.
but if I hit a wall doing 60, it's the only thing that can save me.
Yeah.
So it ain't, as a man, it ain't about comfort. It's about doing what's right. I remove all my feelings when making a decision. So, God was protecting me, and as a young boy, you gonna want to be up
Yeah.
under your father. So,
Right.
stayed the whole summer with him. I was the only one to do it, and every day we would make money because he had his own business. The man was blessed with his hand. So, man, we some days we'll make $5,000, $6,000 because he poured concrete, cut down trees, paint, build porches, decks. He could create out of his imagination. The man was talented, made a lot of money in his life, but when you don't control your urges or if you don't apply self-discipline, it don't matter how talented you are, man. Your discipline will undercut your talent any day.
Yeah.
Your talent can't surpass your discipline. You get what I'm saying? You can be the
Say
most
that again?
gifted. Your talent will never surpass your discipline. Even if you get it, you can't sustain it. If you get glory out of your talent and you don't have no discipline, you'll be on the news. You'll be on the news. You're gonna be reckless driving. You're gonna
Yeah.
be doing drugs, women, whatever it is. If you
Right.
ain't disciplined in that area, it'll steal your joy.
deep.
Self-discipline is the only life worth living, bro. Because the moment you disrespect nature, God, or whatever, if you disrespect a law, even a natural law, the instant punishment most times is to take away the most precious thing you own, probably your life.
Yeah.
I don't disrespect natural laws, bro. Natural law and most man laws, those parameters are put in place for a reason.
Yeah.
Respect the parameters. Stop trying to find ways to operate around the parameters. Operate within. It's nothing. You don't have nothing to worry about.
They leave a lot of wiggle room.
They do. Because you want things to be in black and white, but you don't. You don't really want it to be in black and white because the people that make the rules is the main people breaking them. So they gotta leave some white space for themselves. They gotta leave a little gray.
Yeah.
Between black and white, what that make? That make gray.
It's a whole lot of
So they
gray.
gotta have some gray.
Yeah.
So they define what they want to define the way they want to define it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So you went and you got a better understanding of what God had been, well, unknown to you, what God was protecting you from.
yeah.
but you're still. I'm noticing something. You're still. You've been around hard work.
Yeah. From
Like,
the beginning.
yeah,
Yeah.
even with the negatives,
Yeah.
he's still showing up and working every day. See
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. He was on
And
time.
teaching you skill
Yeah.
sets and all these things. You're also learning what you don't want. The flip side of having
Flips.
access to the
Experienced it
yeah,
directly. I
right,
wasn't doing drugs, but I saw the repercussions of it firsthand.
yeah,
Nobody didn't have to tell me. I didn't need dare. When we got to sixth grade, you remember Corporal Howard
yeah,
used to come to the school.
right,
Good morning, Corporal Howard. We used to say that, John.
yeah,
I didn't even need him. I saw this.
right,
I knew what he was trying to tell them.
yeah,
So during that time period, what we were making money. My dad would give me hundreds of dollars. Boom, 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 boom. By the end of the night, he'd take it back because he had to get his fix. So what I started doing, I started giving the money to my grandma because we was always at my grandmother's house. And he got smart. He was like, "Where your money at?" And I was like, I ain't got it. Where your money at? Grandma got it. Grandma got it. So he started making me ask her for my money back so he can go get his fix. So I got smart again. What can I do with the money where he can't get it, but I can still enjoy it? Spend it. Start buying. Every time we go to the store, I buy like $50, $100 worth of snacks. Boom. Day after day after day of that. Whole summer of that. That's when I came back. Sixth grade, I was fat. A lot of y'all don't remember that. I was fat. I was depressed. I was broken, bro. I was broke. Like internally, I was dealing with some did I just see 2.5 months of
the trenches.
the trenches?
Yeah,
I did. So that's like I remember one girl was like, "Who is that?" I'm looking at them like, "It's me." Like, what you mean? It was just 2 months. What you mean?
yeah,
But I was so unrecognizable that the environment changed me.
yeah,
It changed me because dealing with the depression, dealing with his nonsense, that's how I dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? But it affected me directly. So I had to wear that weight. I didn't lose weight until summer of 10th grade. Yeah, I didn't get my growth spurt and lose weight until the summer of 10th grade.
really,
So that that overweight, that depression, that's why I never
bring it
played
on.
like sports and stuff
Yeah,
like that when we was growing up. Y'all boys was playing like rec league and
Yeah.
y'all was all this stuff. Like I ain't even wanted to be seen.
right,
I was in the worst prison that you could put a person in.
in their mind,
Yeah, no bars, no nothing.
and you can't escape it.
So with that, that's when we came across the coach for the high school. He lived right around the corner from me. I would walk to. We moved across the lake over there, so it was North Hartsville.
Yeah.
So I would walk down the street to the court they had at the school.
Yeah.
So that's how I started breaking my depression. Like I would go out there and I would throw the ball and I couldn't make nothing because I done missed all the experience, all the layup lines and the rec games. I missed all of that.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of y'all were so far ahead of me when it came to competitive sports.
Yeah.
But that was my introduction to competitive sports. Plus, we didn't have a lot of money, so you wasn't gonna play none anyway.
Right.
But being depressed, battling that for so long, it was just kind of like, all right, I got access. I live by a court now, so I would walk to the court every day. Still chunky, still fat. Had my man boobs. So it was like he saw me coming there every day, and he knew I was terrible. He knew I was terrible, but it wasn't the talent that he saw. He saw like the ethic.
Right.
Like I can't teach some of my star players that. So what ended up happening was I was used as like a martyr piece, like a bargaining piece.
Yeah.
So he brought me. He was like, "You want to play? You want to come to the to summer workouts and all this?" Nobody ain't never asked me nothing like that. So I'm like, "Yeah, I come."
Yeah.
So I show up, bro. I can't make a lay. I ain't never played in front of nobody at this point. You got to
Yeah.
think about that.
Right.
You just throwing. Yeah, but I'm 15 with them, but Basketball age, man, I'm 2 months old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm fat and short.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really play. It was always a struggle for me because, I didn't have any of the fundamentals. I didn't have none of the basics in that particular,
Right.
field. But, I used to ride the bike from across the lake all the way to the high school
Yeah.
every day. First person there every day.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. It was cats live across the street. Cats lived across the street and then beat me 10 miles away. You know what I'm saying? And all of that pain and all of that adversity, whereas it would have stopped another person, I used it.
Right.
That was fuel.
Right.
It was so crazy. When I get to the gym, when I used to get to Hartsville High, I was loose. You know how everybody got stretched.
Right.
I just rode 10 miles one way. What you talking about? Matter of fact, man, I just need some water and I'm ready.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, man. A lot of obstacles, that you see or you come across in your life that's presented in your life is not designed to stop you, man. You can use that as an opportunity, man. Use the obstacles as opportunity.
Yeah.
Obstacles are opportunity.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. So, so this is your introduction into
Sports.
sports. How critical were the things you learned in sports? And because let's see, from 15 up until what point was that journey of your life?
Oh man.
Because you started again making money again at what? We was about what, 17?
Not quite 17. Yeah.
Yeah, when you got with
I was working with
Omar,
O.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from sports, and how did it prepare you for this next chapter in your life?
So I always express that sports is probably one of the best, purest form of teaching in the world because it's patient. It doesn't fuss at you. It doesn't get upset with you when you're not doing anything right. It's pure, man. It's one of the purest teachers. The highs and lows are frequent. You know what I mean? Like you might be on a high right now, and a few seconds later in the same game, you just the lowest you ever been in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Same game.
You experiencing success, and during the celebration of success, you experience defeat. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of the purest forms of teaching that I've ever met in my life. Yeah. And I fell in love with it because I learned that if I could outwork the competition, if I could compete against the best, with less resources, less support, all of the things that they didn't even realize were things they had advantages over me.
Yeah.
I flipped it on them.
Yeah.
A lot of people from our hometown, they know about my athletic ability.
Yeah.
They don't realize like that came from no weights. That came from the struggle.
Yeah.
Like walking 10 miles one way.
Yeah.
That'll do something to your mental and your physical. It's a building. It's a foundation to your mental and your physical that a lot of young people won't ever experience because. In the midst of the problem and the solution, the problem is I don't have a way to the gym.
Yeah.
The solution to most weak-minded people is I'm not going. To a strong-minded individual, I don't have a ride to the gym. It's hot, it's raining. To a strong mind, you got 2 rides.
Feel me?
Let's get there.
Let's
get there, and then the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah.
As you know, and I know, we got a guy from our neighborhood, Maceo Hainsworth.
Yeah.
If you got to the gym and you had to walk back home, 9 times out of 10, he'll take you.
Yeah.
Get there. 90% of life itself is showing up, bro.
Yeah.
90%.
Yeah.
Like the other 10%, you'll find out when you get there.
Yeah, but most people never get there.
They don't even never get there. They find the excuse good enough to not even make the journey.
Yeah.
I'm a block away. I'm a couple blocks away. When I get there, I'm gonna be loose.
Right. all the advantages
of what you deem as
perspective, man.
Perspective, everything.
Yeah.
So I will get there. I will get the summer practices before everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was more embarrassed of having to ride the bike. Cause you know where we came from, if you pull up on a bike, like everybody gonna be clowning because all of them getting dropped off. They getting dropped off, so they like, oh yeah, he had to ride here on the bike or he had to walk.
Yeah.
So I had to get there first, so they didn't even know how I got there. So the whole time, you know, they were clowning me and stuff like that because I didn't have the skill. I don't feel bad about it anymore, and I didn't feel bad about it even then, but it shaped my mind. It was like they were like laughing and stuff, and I'm like, y'all don't even know. I don't even supposed to be here.
Right.
I don't even supposed to be here, honestly.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, that whole summer, bro, he kind of he didn't let me play and stuff like that because I was trash, and we went to this camp. We ended up going to this camp, and
But you practiced though.
yeah, I showed up, man. I definitely showed up, and he never seen nothing like that. He was like, man, he's stubborn, he determined. He show up every day. Sometimes I'll be worse the next day, but I kept coming. Like it was something that I was just like, man, I like this.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the first thing somebody asked me to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, about the camp. What happened at the camp?
So we ended up going to college in North Carolina, right? My first time out of the city.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm walking in the city.
Yeah.
How am I gonna go somewhere out the city?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, mom, but we're about to have the summer camp. I want to go to the summer camp. You know, mom look at me with you already know, like if you go to that camp, you ain't getting no clothes, you ain't getting no shoes, cause you gonna miss the whole summer. You can't work.
Right.
Thought about it. Bet, mom, I want to go to the camp. I just couldn't. Something just wouldn't let me not go. You know what I mean? So we go to the camp. Ironically, my nickname that he said at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
This is the first time any one of us hear Ludacris album.
Yeah.
Because they were already, you know, like stuff kind of skipped South Carolina and go straight to North Carolina and Georgia.
And
it's like kind of we are in the
down.
middle. We like,
What?
how you skip past us? You know what I mean?
Right.
But
we like the biggest supportive group of people on the new trends, and we always get it late.
we get it last.
Yeah.
It's a hit by the time we hear.
Yeah.
So by the time it came to South Carolina, it was already a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's Your Fantasy was a hit before it got to us. But we was playing that song, and I was the first person. If anybody watching this from our city, you would know what I'm talking about. We had a coach who had a rule that you couldn't have hair. You had to have a clean shave. You had to wear like a suit and tie game day.
Yeah.
So I come along, the nobody. I'm the nobody of the group, bro. I'm the nobody. Nobody knew who I was, where I came from, or why was I there.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, if you kind of know me, you know I got Indian in my family, so my hair grows fast. Like I got big curls in my hair, so I'm like,
Yeah.
bro,
The good stuff.
I'm not
The good
cutting my
stuff.
hair. I'm sorry. Like I'm not cutting. So it sparks this little trend where he was like, all right, he don't gotta cut his hair. Then everybody started growing their hair.
Yeah.
And so everybody got braids because I don't know, it just took sometimes it takes a person standing up or being smart enough or being just that dumb enough to make some change.
Yeah, for real.
So I was just that ignorant. I was like, I don't know what the rules is. I just got here. He asked me to be here. I'm not cutting my hair. So I started a trend where from that point on, everybody was able to grow their hair. So they love me for that part. You know what I mean? Don't put them on the court. But yeah, so we go into this game, and he put me in at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the last game, the last seconds of the tournament. So we were going home after this. So he puts me in the game, and everybody like, get him the ball, because for some reason I always had a knack of scoring, but I just couldn't really play like that.
Yeah.
So they give it to me and shoot the half court J and
Oh yeah.
man, they went crazy. Like I'm 100% from the field. I'm 1 for 1. Y'all been shooting all game. You ain't got nothing. You sorry. I shot and made the first basket. You know what I'm saying? So man, they crowded me around. Boom, boom, boom. Man, it was so fun. the ride there was so different from the ride back.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, highs and lows again. I love sports, man. I went
Yeah.
from low, man, I was up here.
Yeah.
So we get back to Hartsville Hyatt late, man. Everybody tired. Coach lived 3.5 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
My mama ain't coming.
Yeah.
We ain't got no car. She ain't coming.
Right.
She even told me that before I got there. Like, I don't know how you go get back.
Right.
But I'm going, showing up. There we go again. So he like, I got you. I take you. Coach about 6'4", 6'5", 260.
Yeah.
Big dude.
Yeah.
So he bring me home, and we stayed in this little apartment complex across the lake, right across from that church. As soon as you cross the lake by the Marquette, by the corner store. So there's this little handy shop in front of where my house is in the back. We were staying in these little houses in the back of the spot. Pulls in. I still remember it, man. I'm a visual person. We pull in, kind of halfway, cat a corner a little bit, part off of the road, but into the driveway. Look over. I look over at him. I'm about to thank him and appreciate him, you know what I'm saying, for bringing me home, for inviting me to the tournament. All right. You know, this is what he said, bro. He was like, well, you got a hell of a work ethic. You know, I ain't never seen nothing like it. You probably won't play for me. He said you won't play for me, and you probably won't play anywhere in your life, and you probably won't ever amount to anything. This is what he said to me. A lot of people don't know this. It's the first time I'm saying it out loud. It's like, you probably won't ever do anything. You probably won't ever amount to anything, man. But it's like, you got a lot of heart, and you know what I mean? Like, keep playing, keep working. I didn't really know what to do with that. You know what I mean? I ain't knew. Like, damn, like, it's really like that. Like, I didn't even know you could talk to me like this. You're a head coach and a teacher. But I took it. You know what I'm saying? I processed it. My face was kind of stiff. I was like, yes, sir. I'll show you. You know what I mean? Like, I'll show you. Got out the car. I never had a conversation with him again, but that conversation stuck with me, bro, to this day. Don't tell me I won't be like.
The nerve. Do you not know who I am for real?
I don't even supposed to be here, literally.
You know what it took for me to even come to this camp?
Nah, he ain't know.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
didn't have a clue. You don't know what I gave up.
You gonna say that to me?
You don't know what I gave up to be here, man. And that's some of y'all that gonna be watching this, man. That's what you gotta internalize that. Don't portray that on everybody, but internalize that. Fuel. Use that as fuel. Like, you don't know what I even did to be here, man. So I take it. I take it and get out the car, come in the house. I'm kind of teary-eyed a little bit because I'm mad, but I know I can't beat him. He's 6'6", 230, 240. I ain't stupid. I'm mad, but I ain't stupid. So I'm like, yeah, what to do with that, man? Like, what to do with that, And I kind of always thought, like, man, if I had better protection, you know what I'm saying? If I had a present father in the situation, I'd have never even encountered, but that I probably wouldn't become who I was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in some universes, man, the tragedy gotta happen for you to turn into the triumph. You know what I mean? So I took it. I ate it, bro. Nobody never heard me say that out loud. Nobody. That's where a lot of this stuff comes from, bro. I internalized that because that day I taught myself I don't want to play sports. I don't want to play sports for a living. I want to use this. I'm going to outsmart that cat. Cat don't know more than me. I knew more than him that day he told me that. Half his age. It's like, yeah, he don't know me. I was like, I just kept saying that, like, he don't know me. He don't know me. He just labeled me, put me in the box, my future, my present, and my past in the box, and threw it like, you ain't never gonna be nothing. He told me that. I said, all right.
Drove you home contemplating that, and then had the balls to say it to you?
Yeah.
But and you look at that and you say, look at me now.
Can't even say it to him. He ain't here no more. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, so they,
You know,
yeah, shout out
it's,
to
it's
that.
tough, man. It's tough, man. That the things that people endure on a day to day that most people don't know. You looking at me, you look to me sometimes for guidance and information. But bro, if I'd have let certain situations define me, bro, I wouldn't even.
Yeah, cause see,
I'd have never become.
and when I think about it, we the same age, come from the same place, and there was choices that were available to you, just like they were available to me. But I took them and you didn't,
Yeah,
and you see how things went.
yeah,
And fortunately, the Most High saw fit to allow me to turn that around, and here we are again, and you're welcoming me to, bro. You should have been here a long time ago, but I'm glad you're here. And this is what it should have been like a long time ago. And with P.H.D. me, that's what you want to do for people around the world, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So in wow, that's heavy. That's heavy. So tell me the mission statement behind PhD and me, and what is it? Because we'll get to the book in a second. Got to get to the book, but the mission statement for the company.
So basically, I'm gonna condense everything that's written. We all exist in three different phases: mind, body, and spirit, right? And it's very important to understand the Trinity when it comes to those three individuals. Those are three different individuals. You do know that. I know you know that. Even if you tell me you don't, I'm gonna tell you why. Because your mind and your spirit can be aligned, and your body can want something that the other two telling it not.
Absolutely.
And whichever wolf is the strongest is the wolf that gonna win.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why it's important. It's important for all three to be aligned at all times because they can get out of line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got four tires on your car, and one tire can need alignment. But when that one tire need alignment, it controls and it
Throws
messes
off.
up,
Yeah.
throws off the balance of all the other three tires.
Absolutely.
So if you think about it, as the mind goes, wherever your mind is, your feet will be planted. You get what I'm saying? Like I just came off a trip from Cabo. My mind went to Cabo first. I looked at it. This is where I want to go, and my feet followed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that all three of these things are aligned, and it takes different work to align the three. So reading, gathering information, that's what's going to fuel the mind. That's the exercise for the mind.
Right.
You want a big brain, acquire information. Spiritual, if you need your spirit aligned, you need to cleanse spiritually. You need to meditate. You need to find those things that realigns your spirit. Even if it takes some of us going to church, even if it takes some of us, like I said, just doing some hot yoga. That's a spiritual exercise. You know what I mean? That everything is quiet. Everything is a controlled movement. Those things strengthen the spirit. Now you got the soul. You got the mind. Now you got the body. The body is the vehicle for your soul occupies your body. So if you want to hear the voice of your soul, close your eyes and say something in your head. I guarantee you'll hear a voice. That's your soul. That's how you know that something is inside this vehicle. It's a weird process, bro. But if you close your eyes and you think of a word or a color and you say it, you hear it.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Right.
That lets you know that you are a spiritual being occupying a physical presence. So you have to understand what fuels this physical body that you have. It's the only thing that you own. You know what I'm saying? So in this profession that I've chosen, I've chosen to strengthen a person's mind, body, and spirit because those are the things that are going to guide you in the directions in life that you feel like you want to go. If one of them are pulling the opposite way, you're not gonna make it happen.
Right.
So I don't believe in giving you all of this monetary information. I don't believe in giving a child $1 million, man, because at the end of the day, he gonna buy lollipops. You know what I'm saying? He's still a child at heart.
Yeah.
So I really believe that if I want to change the future, mainly of the male, the color male species, that's why this started.
Okay.
Because I'm not a racial person, but I understand the dynamics. You're gonna identify with what you look like.
Yeah.
Most of us fathers today, we're trying to be fathers and never had an image of a father in our life. That
Yeah.
makes it so much more difficult.
Right.
That's why imagery is important. That's why when we were growing up, the Cosby, the Uncle Phil, the Danny Tanners, like, man, that's my pops because at least he bothered to show up. He came on every Friday, bro. Every Friday, this dude was at my spot in the house, teaching me, talking to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't talking back, to him per se, but he showed up every Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those
And
lessons that he installed in those the kids. I took those lessons on
I
too.
took, the world took them.
Yeah.
Millions of people tuned in. I know they took them.
Yeah.
And imagery is super important.
Yeah.
So I believe in, if I want to shape the future, I first gotta become what it is that I wish to impose on people. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be it before you can teach it. You gotta show it. That's how I know you know it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I took this journey of, I don't know if you remember, but I posted a picture. I was all in shape and all that. I was on that journey.
Yeah.
I was becoming, as I was writing this book, I was writing my story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I took my health at 33, 34. I was in the best health that I ever been in my life. My body was the most in tune, in shape. My mind was the sharpest.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe
my
it was
spirit-
33.
Bro, my spirit was so tight, bro. Like, everything was,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It was not, my shadow was in line, bro. You know your shadow projects at an angle.
Yeah.
Man, it was in line, bro. Everything was right here. And that was purposefully, like, I had to become what this is that I'm trying to teach. I never believed that I should be standing in front of the world talking about a guy and that guy is a figment of my imagination.
Right.
I don't even know that guy that I'm,
Yeah. That. Yeah.
treat your woman like, and nah,
Right.
I'm gonna be that.
So P.H.D. Me is a consulting business, or how would you categorize it? Or do you?
That's the hardest thing in the world to do, man, because the program, once you follow through the entire program, it's physical, it's mental,
Yeah.
it's financial, it's so many different things. But to categorize it, I had to put it as consultant.
Okay.
I had to categorize it as consultant because I'm a physical trainer. I'm a financial consultant.
Yeah.
I'm so many different things with the certificates to prove it.
Right.
So it's hard to tell you that I do one thing.
Right.
Which, if you know anything about business, sometimes that's not a good thing. It's like, what do you do? And it's like,
Right.
what do you need?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
whatever you need is what I do, but it's hard to sell that. You
Right.
can't sell everything, you know? That's why most multi-million-dollar businesses, they operate under different names because they want you to know them for that one specific name and not confuse. You know, even if they own that other one, they kind of separate and differentiate themselves.
Right.
Because they want you to know they specialize in that.
Yeah. They hide the service that they provide under a different brand for that purpose. Yeah.
No confusion.
Right. So the first leg, I guess, of like the rollout, you started with the book. Define your goal. Define your purpose.
I technically started with the workouts, with
Workouts.
the
Okay.
personal training side.
Okay. Okay.
Cause I'm a gym rat, man.
Yeah.
I'm a really big advocate of there's no way I can build $1 million lifestyle and have a $2 body. Like everybody else in the world would enjoy my accomplishment besides me. If this vehicle that I have spiritually chosen to operate and I don't even maintenance it properly. So
Right.
I don't even like if I see a multi-billionaire and he got the stomach hanging over,
Which is typical.
yeah,
Yeah.
gluttony,
Yeah.
it's a sin.
Yeah.
That's why.
For sure.
I don't I wouldn't say I don't respect it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like how can you, because money can't save you once, once that time expires, and it's gonna expire because of you, because of what you're neglecting to do.
Yeah.
So I always believe for me to function, at a certain level, because I only believe in performing at a high level.
Right.
I wouldn't say perfection because that's not my thing. I don't believe in requiring perfection from my people or from anybody around me in my circle, but I do require that you give your best.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a guru with the workouts, and I warm up. I'm not gonna throw no numbers out there, but I warm up with 225, 230. This is how we stretch. But if I'm working with you, I'm not gonna put that on you, man. I'm not gonna put that on you.
Yeah.
I never look outward. I never look outward when I'm comparing myself. I compare myself to myself.
Right.
And I only compare you to you. What you showed me yesterday, I need a little more to that. I need a little more today.
Yeah.
If I'm over there repping 325, I'm not looking for that from you. I'm looking for your best though.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the workout world, when I first started working out, they would impose what they could do on me. But you got more time, more history.
Yeah.
You have more sweat equity underneath that bench press than me.
Right.
I can't just show up and like when I first started working out, I couldn't do 225. I couldn't even put that on the bar. I never saw that on the bar. At 30 something years old, I never saw that on the bar.
Yeah.
But I worked out with the mentality of at the end of this, I'm gonna be warming up with that.
Yeah.
And that's how I got there. I visualized it. And a lot of people didn't see because I worked out 4:00 in the morning. So you know,
Don't see it.
only a certain type of person up at 4:00 in the morning. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
See, when you go in the gym, just to chime in real quick, when you go in the gym and you look around at the folks that's in there with you at 5:00 in the morning, 4:00 in the morning, occasionally you'll find somebody who it just works out schedule wise, but even then, they're still a special kind of people. You even if you're not professionally where you want to be, the kind of mindset you got to be there in the morning, you'll get there. You're going somewhere.
You're on your way.
You're on your way.
You're on your way.
You're on your way. And then the people in there with you share that energy. Because when
It's
you
so
can walk
giving.
in and hear crickets and just the clinging of machines, and because it's just y'all.
It's just y'all.
These are my people. These
My family.
these are my people.
These are my people.
Yeah.
This is my tribe.
Yeah, it's not a lot, man. It's not a lot. My daughter's like 5th grade teacher, Tracy. I can't think of her last name. Jennifer, our classmate.
Yeah.
Jennifer Blue. And it's literally like less than 10 people I've ever seen on a consistent basis show up in that gym at 5:00 in the morning. Everybody else start rolling in about 6:37, but by then the work is done.
It's done. We got it all, bro.
the, work,
We done got it all, man.
the work is done, bro.
Man, I learned quickly the time frame that you arrive at the gym can dictate the level of your success. I've been in the gym.
Say that. Say that again. Say that again.
So the time frame you arrive
Yeah.
at the gym can generally dictate the level of success that you wish to experience. Because I've been in the gym with a couple of my 5 a.m.ers, and these are the people that can make something happen.
Yeah.
No phone call, no, I gotta talk to, I am the somebody that you need to talk to. Because I gotta be there before my guys get there.
Yeah.
But I can't neglect this. I can't neglect the only thing on this earth that I truly own. I can't acquire the riches of the world and lose my natural vehicle, my natural body in the process.
Yeah.
When somebody tell me like I don't have time to go to the gym, I look at them and like, man, you got less time than you thought you had. Because I'm gonna be here longer than you.
Yeah.
I work out like that, man, because I'm intentional about being here. I told my mom, bro, I want to live till I'm almost 200.
Yeah.
You think your body can survive? I know that's not possible in a sense, but with that mindset,
Yeah.
if I make it to 110, if I make it to 111,
I mean,
guess what?
statistically,
Come on, man.
they only giving people 70.
70, and they want 50 of that working. They want
65,
63, 60.
67, something. I think it's 67
So
is the
you
official
need- come on.
retirement age. For
Nine
full benefits.
for
full
full benefits?
That's crazy.
Bro,
That's crazy.
that's wild to me, man. I'm beaten down, bro. Like the way I describe certain things now, it's like how much am I willing to accept to stop chasing my dreams? Is it 9? Is it 10? Is it 15? You know, when we were coming up, man, $20 an hour, man, you were rich, man. Like,
Dude,
man,
and don't get me wrong.
$20 an hour.
Don't get me wrong. Since COVID hit, they throwing it out there. I mean, but they throwing it wages. They throwing the wages around because the cost of living going up.
And 9 times out of 10,
And
you're doing the
inflation.
work of 10 people.
Yeah, and
Because
you've
nobody
been
don't want to
doing the-
work.
You've been doing the work of 10 people too, and they wasn't paying you close to what you thought you were supposed to be getting, but because they raised it, unknown to you, that they're still not competing with inflation and the cost of living.
I love how you think, bro.
They just
it's
is not,
amazing. It's
bro.
amazing.
You're still losing.
And
You're just not used to getting as much. But we all still end up. A lot of times, people end up acquiring more money and acquiring more bills.
yeah, when you
when-
get more
But it's like if you just stayed where you were,
sacrifice,
you could move ahead.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
But because you struggled so long, though, you think acquiring more bills is moving ahead.
Right.
But you're not. You're still losing.
because you haven't acquired the most important piece, information. Before I believe, before you acquire more money, you must acquire the information needed at that next level. So I'm always thinking next level.
Right.
I'm never thinking at the level I'm at. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
That's how you stay ahead. And then once you achieve that particular goal, you set a new one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
Because, like with the book, right?
yeah.
Define your goal, define your purpose.
Yeah.
What you're saying now aligns perfectly with what I've read in the book. And so, like you said, you're always thinking on the next level, right? And in the book, you talk about really being visual and vivid about the goals,
Yes.
right? How did you? Because you told us about the backstory, and I can't help but admire that. But it's like, when did you learn to really be? I'm talking about detailed in the goal. And was it always easy for you to like figure out a way of doing it? Because most people know what they want, they're just not. They don't know how to get there. So how do you help with that?
So in the previous story we talked about something simple like the shoes.
Yeah.
I saw what it was that I wanted, and then I aligned everything to get there. That's pretty much how I see what I want, I visualize it, and then I give it an identity.
Okay.
All right. So if I want more income, what I taught myself that the more information that I know is the way to enhance my income. So in the military, right? If you're about to get promoted, say for instance we call it a specialist, you're E4, and we call it E5 a sergeant, right? If you are about to become a sergeant, before you become a sergeant, what do you think we do? We give you the responsibility of a sergeant, and we see how you're gonna hold that title before we give you that title.
Right.
We're gonna see how you're gonna perform at that level. So it taught me in regular life that in order to get to that level, you have to operate as if you're gonna be a number one podcast, you gotta operate as if you are the number one podcast. So you beat the critics to saying it and thinking it because you operate in. I will be one of the most influential men in the world, and that don't mean fame. That mean when somebody inspires you, I inspired them.
That's
I
heavy.
don't mess with the little fish.
That's
I
heavy.
inspire the inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a bar. Yo.
Like, bro, that's how I
hold
think.
on, hold on. Listen, my guy said, I inspire the inspiration.
I'm serious.
I know.
I'm dead serious.
I
Bro.
know.
Like,
And that's why it's so heavy. Because I know when you tell me something, you mean it. You ain't just talking to talk. And this has been years, even back when we ain't have nothing. And we was just playing, young dudes playing ball. Like, if you were serious about dunking next, it's going to, boys.
It already happened. You waiting to see. And that's crazy. Like, I'm gonna share a story with my wife. She never saw me like in my prime like that, right?
Right.
So she heard somebody talking about it, and she was like she ain't never seen it. So I don't in front of her, and she was like, oh man, like yo, like I'm 30 something years old, and I boomed that. I was still booming a year ago before I hurt my knee.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
That ain't normal.
Yeah, because now we're
And
latter 30s, almost 40.
if I heal this knee, I'll still be able to. But the crazy part, it resonated to me. She was like they keep saying you jump so high. Like, how you jump so high? And the one thing, bro, I swear to God, I always think about whenever I used to take off the ground, I never thought about how high it was. I only saw myself grabbing the ball.
So you removed the limitations.
I took it off. I took the cap off of the limitations.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever play ball with me, the highest I would ever jump is like not on the dunk, because I know the limit. I know where
rebound,
I gotta go.
bro.
It's the rebound.
I
shut a
shut
gym
every time.
I shut the gym down one time in a tournament with a rebound because I hit my back on the rim. Because all I saw before I launched off the ground, I gotta get that.
Yeah.
Like literally every time that I would jump, the highest that I would jump, all I saw was the goal.
Yeah.
I never saw none of the obstacles.
So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
That is crazy.
And it's facts.
Right. Like, I already know. So, okay. If a person wants to get an insight, right, of the mindset behind P.H.D, me, and I would suggest this to anybody out there who's a lover of knowledge, to please grab this book, Define Your Goals, Define Your Purpose, and dive into someone's life in the mind of someone who really lived it. You can't think of a more you ain't gonna find too many more situations that was let's see, more of a harder objective to, but not an objective, harder circumstances to overcome without it being pure like Africa or somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's when I say that, I mean I know where we came from.
yeah.
We were not supposed to make it,
It wasn't in the design.
not in
We
the
were a
design.
project in the
So
projects.
literally. So with that being said, you know, you can find a project. If you find one project, you found another project all around the United States, man.
They were one and the same.
So again, we know what we were not supposed to be doing, but against all odds, against all odds. So I invite you to please, by all means, check out the mindset of a man who's like you or just like you, who overcame. And if you need help doing anything that you have read in this book, by all means reach out. Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
CEO, P.H.D. me, man. Because it's nothing wrong with having help. And too often, a lot of people we feel isolated, especially men, because this is more purposed and directed towards men, correct?
Younger men, yes.
Younger men.
Yes.
If you find yourself in that area and you feel isolated, by no means are you alone. Reach out, speak to somebody, get some help. Reach out to Mr. Johnson here.
We're here.
Become a part of the program and have the life that you want to have. So, what I want to do, if you're ready, and is there not anything else you want to, was there anything else you want to touch on specifically? I was going to jump into these questions, but I don't want anything.
I think we did. I think we can jump into
Okay. And because it'll probably end up doubling back.
Right.
Anyway.
Come back. It'll come back.
Yeah. So this particular question has this reference to being a male author, right?
Okay.
An author in general, because I mean, dude, we're happy if we can get a plant job where we from. That's the goal.
That's success. Where
Yeah.
the areas we from.
Yeah, the plant job with the good benefits
Right.
that your granddaddy told you needed to have.
And you had to have him to put you on for you can even get through the door.
Because without knowing somebody, it's a no-go. So, first question is, as a male author, what motivated you to write about self-improvement, and is there a personal journey or experience that inspired you, to explore this topic?
There is an inspiration. What originally fueled me to put all of these thoughts and experiences and achievements on paper was I understand that I'm only here for a limited time, man. I'm expiring every day. And the one thing that I want to do for my name and my family name is immortalize that name. No matter how long we gone, we're gonna know we were here.
Right.
Understanding that nobody before me took that challenge. I saw an opportunity to do something different in my family. I said I'll be the one. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle always told me, like, you the one. Like, I don't know what it is, but you gonna do something for this family, boy. And I mean, when you 5 and 6, you like, man, I can barely get clean draws for myself, but I don't know how I'm gonna change the world. But he saw early, and he fed into me early.
Yeah.
He fed that mental monster early. Like, you're gonna do something special. And there's something I wanted to touch on with you. Like, if you ever go back in history and look at some heavy hitting names, they did a lot with a short amount of time here.
Yeah.
Think about it. Most of the greats. You never see on a consistent basis that we bury an old great. It does happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but look how many young, culture changing, lifetime, one of a time talents. When God put somebody here on this earth that one of a kind, they only here for a limited time. So one way to solidify yourself into history is putting it on paper.
Yeah.
The oldest, most highest grossing, never gonna be touched ever in the history of ever book sales is what?
The Bible.
The Holy Bible.
Yeah.
Somebody, these books came from all across, from different periods of time.
Yeah.
And somebody had the gumption to put it together, push it out.
Yeah.
Y'all, no matter how long I'm gone, with the time I was here, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do with it. That's what inspired this book. Boy, you can't die with that in you. That's all I kept hearing. You can't die with that in you. How they gonna hear it? How they gonna know it?
Yeah.
You can inspire from the grave if you just spend the money and push it out.
Unfortunately, man, you see time and time again, that's normally when,
That it blows up.
yeah.
That's one of my fears, but I don't control that.
Right. Yeah.
Only thing I control is I did it.
Yeah. But it can't. That's why so often the great successes we see in life from people is the mission. The mission meant more than the fame, and sometimes you'll just never know how much you really touch somebody. You know? And it's but the mission was important. It was important enough to complete it, to document it, complete it, and put it out.
Those that
Yeah, go ahead.
reap the benefit of change, the person that inspired it probably will never see it.
Right.
I understood that.
Yeah.
I understood that early. So normally the guy that, get a street named after him or invoke the riot or changes the world, he don't never see the change.
Never seen it.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
and as a man, you got to understand that, because even with our children, they reap the bit. I told one of my kids just the other day, you have the audacity to sit here and be living my dream. You living my dream, and you don't have the nerve to be appreciative. Sit on that for a minute. Sit on that. You live in my dream. You live in my house. The house that I came from, an apartment, and I slept on the floor, and I ate maybe once a day. You eat 3 times a day. You live in a 3-story house, one of them. You have multiple houses in different area codes. And you got the nerve to not keep your room clean? So you know why my room stay clean? My daughter was like, why? I said, because I didn't have one when I was your age. I had a corner on the floor. So I kept my little corner of clothes piled up, fold neatly like my grandmama taught me. And my shoes, one by one, left, right, beside it. I took as little space as possible, but I was proud of my little space. When you got a room in 2 states, and you got this room looking like this, you bringing in grades like this, the audacity you live in my dream, and you got the nerve to mess it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
They'll-
wild.
They'll understand that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, why was self-improvement so important to write it? Because you could have wrote about anything, and you definitely have a story to tell. So why was self-improvement important for you?
Because you never stop self-improving. If you ever stop improving, 9 times out of 10, you're probably about to stop living. In some way. You know, some people have been dead a long time and they just waiting to die.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Like, that even goes back to most of the greats being buried early.
Yeah.
We all know old heads, but we the ones that know them. The world don't know them. The world knows some of the greats that was only here 19 years, 20 years,
Yeah.
and everybody know them. People that
Everybody.
wasn't born when they died know them.
Yeah.
You sitting here 60, 70 something years old, and if I go to another part of town, they don't know you. What did you do with all that time? What was that time being spent doing?
Talking real heavy, Mr. Johnson.
Always,
That's
always
heavy,
improving.
boy.
I'm always improving myself. I can't go to bed tonight with the same percentage done than I woke up with that morning. I gotta be 1% better, bro. At least.
That's crazy.
At least 1%.
Okay, so the next question I got for you is, what are some common challenges or obstacles that men face when it comes to self-improvement, and how do you address these challenges in your work?
The first, probably the most important challenge I've witnessed men face, a lot of people that aren't men telling men what men are. That's a real problem.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
yeah.
Because
It's a lot of that going on today.
it's too much of it. And it shouldn't be a percentage of it. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the circumstances. I understand when we were growing up, before our time frame, it was not a normal thing to not have your dad in the house before we
Right.
came along.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like going back to my story, even with my mom and her father murdering her mother, he was in the house with them. This is what the standard was.
Right.
So the attack on our most profitable enterprise as a culture is a black family, and I understand how you attack that. So the way you attack that is you push and you promote the breakup of that.
Yeah.
You normalize the breakup of the most powerful entity that we own. If you look at anything historically, black empires rule all over the course of the history of life and humanity.
Yeah.
But that was because everybody knew their place. Now, the confusing and the confusement has people out of place, out of order.
Yeah.
And no matter what you're doing, if you do it out of order, it's never gonna be right. But if you normalize that particular order for that group, it implodes, it self-destructs from within.
Yeah.
So you can never, just like I wrote about the goals that you set for yourself, if you want to be honest, nothing can stop you from your goals. And I say that because all of the obstacles are put in front of you for you to stop.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? Like, it doesn't stop for you until you quit. Prime example, it took me from 03 to 2014, from 03 to 2014 to get a bachelor's degree. It was people that,
Yeah.
people got it in 4 years. They,
Right.
from 03 to 20, 2007, 2006, some of them
Yeah.
already had theirs.
Yeah.
It didn't never stop for me until unless I quit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if I took one class at a time, I was still gonna get there.
Right.
But they don't teach you like that. They don't teach you the importance of progress.
Yeah.
They confuse movement with because think about this. Think about this now.
You just was saying something powerful just now.
So many people got their degree before I did.
Yeah.
But I surpassed them in wages and accomplishments in the end, because it's not a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And we were all running individual races.
Right.
So they got to their destination before I did. But that wasn't my race. And
Yeah.
I still helped them celebrate when they crossed the line and I wasn't even running.
Yeah.
But I understood my race.
Yeah.
I plan on playing the long game. With any situation. I will never play the overnight quick game. So you never fail at a goal. You just stop trying.
Yeah. Right.
Even if you go back and pick it up 20 years later and you do it, you never failed. You just didn't. You found an excuse good enough and you rolled out with it. This
Yeah.
it. This is the one. I'm checking out now.
Yeah.
So you gotta train yourself to a higher standard to surpass your breaking point. You just gotta learn what makes you break and be ready. Brace yourself for that.
Yeah.
And when you look up and you pass that hump, that's when you know you grew.
Yeah.
And then you gonna, no matter what it is, Charles, if you want it, just don't stop.
That's it.
Just don't stop.
See, and it's crazy because, like, you know, people who are hearing you speak now and feeling or are encouraged by what you're saying, all of these the benefits of having these kind of talks and these strategies come with communicating with the business, right? And then rolling in the program and getting situated and getting the book. When I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that it is a plethora of jewels in this book and in the mind of this young man, I highly suggest you, because it doesn't stop, by the way.
No.
Like on or off podcast, camera on, off, whatever. This is real life.
It's stuck.
Yeah, this is real life. You're just getting it because it's a part of business. And that's why you're seeing it in the format that you're seeing it. But had you met him in real life somewhere, you would know, like, this is real life, and it don't stop. It don't stop. So can you share some practical tips or strategies that you often recommend to men who are seeking self-improvement? And are there any specific techniques or exercises that you find particularly effective?
One thing that helps me is the environments that I find myself in. And you know, I don't know who I was having this conversation with recently, but I describe human beings, to me, in my head, we're more closely resembling to plants than we are animals. Mm-hmm. And any type of plant needs the right environment in order to grow, right? Yeah. Like, you can try to plant one of those Chinese bamboo sticks in our soil and it won't grow. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with the seed, it's just in the wrong environment. Mm-hmm. So you have the dominion to put yourself in the wrong environment, yeah, or put yourself in the right environment. You know what I'm saying? That's why showing up is 90% of the battle. So say, for instance, there's something in life that you may not have any business attaining at that point in your life. Yeah. But because you show up and because you try. You know what I mean? I've done more, and I know I'm not the only person that done this, but a person who tries to help themselves will get more assistance than a person that's just sitting and waiting on a handout. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they teach you when you out in the water, like, the only way that I can assist you if you stop kicking and stop struggling. You know what I mean? Like, because if I try to help you while you're drowning, you're gonna drown me because you know what I'm saying? So if I see you trying, I see you trying to tread, I can help you. Yeah. But if you all distraught and oh man. So life is about breaking points. And the reason you react to a situation the way you do, you can only react to the level of information you got. Yeah. Think about it like this. If a woman needs money, she has no skills. 10 times out of 10, what's she gonna use to get money, Charms?
Her looks, her body. Yeah.
She's gonna go back to the information that she has.
Yeah.
Had she not picked up a book, acquired new information, she would never do that.
Right.
Because you can only react to the situation as much information as you got.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you an example. I didn't know nothing about credit, right?
Yeah.
I knew nothing about credit. All I was programmed was cash, cash. My daddy, my mama, don't mess with credit. Don't mess with credit. Don't mess with credit.
Yeah.
The information that they were portraying on me was misinformation.
Yeah.
Just because you taught something don't mean it was correct, right?
Yeah.
So what I did, we talked about this earlier today, I'm an opposite. Because I'm looking at how we living and I know this ain't right.
Right.
So if you saying go that way, I'm going to it. Because you controlling my environment and my environment effed up right now. So whatever you saying ain't working.
Right.
But I'm still on the boat with you because I ain't got no choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing that I did, bro, my wife will tell you, man, I wish she was here with us.
Yeah, we should have our own next time.
I
The both of
think
you.
that's gonna be an awesome
Yeah.
conversation, bro.
For sure.
Because she saw all of this.
Yeah.
This is what's important, man. This is what is important about having that helpmate, man. She saw this from nothing. We were
Yeah.
homeless, and she saw me do this.
Yeah.
So I'm reading, bro, and being in the guard, I learned how to turn education into money. So when you're in school, they give you incentives and certain, you can take out loans, you can do all kind of stuff while you're in school to get money right away. So I learned, I got some more information. I learned the system. Boom, she saw me reading and studying credit. I had to know credit, bro. She was pregnant with my daughter, and bro, we were like, bro, we were inches away from being homeless the first time, and I applied for a credit card, Capital One, and they gave me like a couple $100, man. And she was big as a house. I was like, you know what, man, I'm tired. I don't have no money. My wallet was empty.
Yeah.
If somebody robbed me, bro, like that would have just been a prerequisite for the real robbery. Like I'm fit to learn how to take somebody's joy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I took the credit card and we went to Five Guys. We went to Five Guys in Florence, man. That was the best burger and fries. Because when I ordered it, it's what she wanted.
Right.
So the satisfaction of giving her, because she never asked for nothing, the satisfaction of giving her exactly what she wants, and the thought of not having to think about how much it costs. I didn't even look at how much it costs. Baby, which one you want? So I took that lesson like, bro, this is a tool. This ain't shackles and chains. We interpreting it wrong. You know what I'm saying? We misinterpreting what this is. So I'm reading the fine print that, like, when they send you your credit card, they send you all this.
Most
they
people
send
don't
you
read it.
Nobody.
Most people don't.
Nobody reads it. So I'm reading, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, the percentage kind of high.
Sky. Yeah.
But I started learning I learned the language.
Yeah.
Like you and a person from another nationality can be conversing. You can be speaking English and they can be speaking whatever their nationality is, but there ain't no communication because we are not even understand. We both talking at the same time, but we're not understanding.
Right.
And that's the miscommunication with credit in our people. It's a tool. They use it as a tool every time. So I'm like, okay, so this means that this particular bank trusts me to say you have this amount of money, but you don't have it. But we're gonna allow you to get what you want right now. On the back end, you just give us our money back, because we trust you like that per your credit scores.
Right.
So I'm starting to learn it. So, bro, I say, you know what? I'll never be homeless again, because I'm gonna build my credit score so high, even if I lost my job today, the worst I can land is here. So I start thinking about it as if I got $50,000 in credit. Think about that. Most people don't make $50,000 in a year.
Absolutely.
Bro, that gives me a 12-month cushion if I fall flat. Think about that. Think about that.
Yeah.
I'm like 25 thinking about this joint like this. Like, whoa, okay, hold on. I know, but I don't know. Cause I haven't experienced this.
Yeah.
But I see it in my head like, so you mean to tell me if I lost my job today, then I still will be able to pay my bills for this, like next month I'm not worried about anything. Like I can take my time, because what most people do in a crisis, they create a new crisis because they make a decision, they make an irrational decision because of the crisis.
Right.
But I learned this from studying the stock market crash.
Yeah.
So think about it like this. I mapped out the foundation of our marriage and our life off of the stock market crash. Even in a crisis, somebody gonna come up in a crisis.
Every crisis.
Every time. Because
Every
crises create new opportunities.
Yeah.
The pandemic created all these
You know what
services.
changes? You know what changes the people who lose from the people who win in crisis? Information. Being prepared, because
Preparation.
preparation. And preparation with information prevents it prevents fear. There's nothing
can't
to
be
be
afraid.
afraid if you know already.
And then fear ain't real.
Your
is
fear comes
not
from a lack of knowledge.
Your fear is lack of preparation, comfortability.
Yeah.
You got complacent. You stopped learning. You stopped acquiring. You stopped saving because you was eating good. You was making $20 an hour, remember? But guess what? Just as sure as you can do an application, you can be fired. And I can't fire myself, bro. I'm a boss.
Yeah.
So, bro, I turned like a couple $100 credit card into hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of credit. Not overnight, but acquiring new information, working with my number one partner in life, my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That piece, that's the power of marriage.
Yeah.
Like, you're not exempt from tribulations and trials, but you're blessed with an in-house partner. We're a team no matter where we go, because it's two of us.
Yeah. Yeah. So to speak on kind of getting back to what we were talking about, like when you said that like your environment was key to you. What do you tell people, especially these young guys, man, who feel like they can't get out the hood, they can't leave, there is no option, there is no place to go because they have no way or whatever? Common things you hear, even from people who living in the same situation you in, they felt like they couldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's anybody who didn't have the resolve you had would have felt like they didn't have a way either. But that's what the walking was about. That's what the riding the bike was about. So how do you respond to those people who feel like they don't have a way? Because sometimes you can't see what you're not informed of, and that might be the issue.
That's a big
You're blind.
issue.
You're blind to what you're not aware of. You didn't know you had that option because you didn't know it existed.
You didn't know you didn't know.
Yeah.
That's the worst place to be in. It's like it's an anomaly. Like it eats itself.
Yeah.
You know, I had a previous boss ask me, what is it you don't know? I almost lost it. I almost lost it on this little lady, man. I was like, what do you mean what I don't know? I can't tell you what I don't know. I can't express to you in a verbal form what I don't know. Show me everything. Teach me everything.
Yeah.
Imagine I ain't never touched a computer and you show me everything. Therefore, you won't. People mess up because they have these unimaginable expectations from everybody else, but expect minimum and make excuses for themselves. If you want to get out of the hood, stop making excuses. Stop using the same excuse that the person stuck in the hood next to you using.
Yeah.
Because the person that gets out of the hood stops using those excuses, stop using those resources, and seeks new information and new resources.
So now you're educated, man. You have multiple degrees, right?
Yeah.
What happens when someone feels like college isn't for them? Do you feel like that's an excuse, or do you think that's a real situation?
I have mixed I have mixed emotions about institutionalized information. Like, the paper is for them. You know what I mean? Like, the paper is to show somebody else you know what you know. But me and you both know the true experts live the thing that the person with the paper, like,
That's
I
deep.
got I got a I got a analogy, but it doesn't apply to everybody. But because I want to do it now. But most business teachers don't have a business, but they teach in business because they
Absolutely.
got a business degree.
Yeah.
That's tough, right? Like, so wait. You go teach me how to make all of this money that you never made? You what kind of backwards bullcrap is that?
Right.
Why didn't you bother to do it?
Clearly, you know.
Clearly, you know, you teaching me. But that's crazy because even like parenting is like that. Like, it's a job you acquire,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you qualified.
Right.
But now you subjected to teaching
Yeah.
somebody that you know what you know at that. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Each one of my kids are so different because we had different information when we had them.
Oh my God.
Wait. What's crazy is the last three are from my wife.
Right.
They all embody as a person where we was when we had them.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But it's real though.
It's the
If you
truth.
think about it, if you really think about it, it has to be that way.
Yeah.
Because you can only teach a person from your level of understanding.
That's it. That's why I never got mad at my parents for not teaching me about credit. They didn't know. I'm glad they didn't teach me because I would have had to unlearn all of it. You know how hard it is to unlearn something? Bro, don't even show me. Just go over there. Just go over there, man. Don't even teach me. Because you know, like, and that's what happening in life. A lot of people are teaching and they qualify for the position, but they got the job. They showed up and made a kid.
Listen.
Don't mean you supposed to have it.
Bro, and not to even get on religion at all, but like I attribute the same thing to people who preach, or not necessarily preach, but tell the word of God to people. It's like you find so many of them condemning you to hell, and it's like, yeah, you know, you could walk away from me right now and go to hell and die, or die and go to hell right now. But that's because nobody wants to admit that what they're really chasing is selfish self-gratification for being the one who brought you to God, when it's supposed to be about the glory of God. It ain't that ain't about you. It's supposed to be about the glorification of God. That person acknowledging the Most High and saving their own soul. You want to feel good about yourself being the one who did it,
You know,
and
that
you,
ain't your
in
race.
return, you end up running them off.
You worrying about how big your church is, and
Yeah.
everybody that's occupying that church
Right.
probably gonna beat you on that one-way trip to the place that you damning everybody else.
Right.
So, like, bro, I'm I am a member of a church, and I love my church. But some churches, not my church in particular, but when I was out of church for a long time, because I grew up in the church.
Yeah.
When I was out of church for a long time, those type of I won't even those type of saints, they bother me Like you're gonna damn a good person making the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
You
You
make
or somebody,
privately.
or not even as, and each mistake is different. But the point I'm making is like, dude, you know who you work for? Do you know who you like? When I see somebody in that position
Yeah,
telling
that's a
somebody else,
yeah.
and I'm like, dude, like you know what's wrong? Like y'all won't come to the plate. Y'all, you want to stay where it's safe at.
Yeah.
You want to stay behind the pulpit, but the dude you work for was with the murderers, with the killers. How can you save them and you ain't in their environment? You gotta come to that environment to come get me,
The Most High
cause I
did
don't
it,
have no.
and
He did
you
it.
ain't exempt from that.
You better than he.
Okay.
You more soul saved than he.
Yeah.
Man, this man got his hands dirty.
Yeah.
He got his
In the
hands
trenches.
dirty.
Right.
And you telling me you only praying on Sunday for me? And you don't I gotta come to you? He came to the man, his left and right hand man was the dang on hit
And
man.
yeah, because I ain't want to.
He changed them.
It's like that's why I took up reading the entire Bible myself as a task that I have to do.
Yeah,
It's not an option anymore. I have to do it.
I commend
And
that.
because you, how can you arm yourself against false teachers of whatever? And this is metaphoric to real life, like just regular life. Like, how can you arm yourself against people who teach false things if you're not aware of what they're teaching you? Because half the time when you go to church or something like that, it's like you only get 20 minutes worth of word and an hour long worth of service. They're not teaching you the word as much as they're giving you the performance. But in reference to P.H.D. me, right? You're really, you were touched to service the younger men.
Right.
And what we're missing, and like you said, a big issue in today is people who've never been men telling men how to be men.
And passing misinformed information.
Right. So it's like, how do you approach masculinity in regards to self-improvement, right? And
Right.
what's your definition, and how do you approach it with your business as far as the message you give to the younger men you'd like to help?
Well, the way we teach balance, right? There's a need. There's a natural need for masculinity as well as femininity. If you notice, it take one of each of those to make us each human being,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So obviously,
Yeah.
day zero is necessary, and it is alive in each and every last one of us. We both possess 50% masculinity, 50% femininity, because that's what make up our DNA. No matter who we are, we came from a man and a woman.
Right.
The objective is balance, because you can't have too much of one or the other. And knowing when to utilize male or female each side, because they both necessities. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Because it's like you hear a lot of feminists preaching to men to be more in tune with their feminine side and being vulnerable, and then they punish you for it because now you're acting soft. But then you hear a lot of red pill people say, you know, you should never cry in front of a woman or your woman, because 30 minutes later she'll be trying to F your best friend.
Right.
Because you've set in motion this perspective that you're not capable of whatever it may be. And with red pill being so prevalent today, like the Andrew Tates of the world, and Kevin Samuels, God bless the dead,
Yeah.
and then the feminist movement, nobody talks about balance.
That's
You're
the
literally the first person I ever heard in private life, internet, whatever.
in the real world.
Nobody has ever
It's
said we we preach or we instruct and promote balance. It's always one person pulling for the majority of one or the other side.
what happens on the scale when you got too much weight on either side. You lose
Tips over,
balance. It's
yeah.
tipping over because you got too much of that. Here, we understand everybody is different. So the teachings aren't true, they're reality. You get what I'm saying? I operate in reality because I know the truth is subjective. The truth is whatever we want it to be, and each person is different.
Yeah.
My sister can tell my story differently than me because she watched it from
Third person.
another vessel,
Yeah.
and another perspective because she's short.
Yeah. Hey, please don't beat us up. Please. I don't want no smoke.
That's my job because she.
I know. Yeah. I
But
already
yeah,
know.
so but I never get into those debates because I'm one of one. I'm not debatable. So I don't preach how I feel. I preach facts. I only operate in reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't operate like if you tell her this, she's gonna. Cause bro, there's one of your woman, but there's types of women. There's one me and there's one you, but we can identify with a different different man, but the same type. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I say, if this fits your type, this may be what you need to think about. This may be how you, because that's where the arguments come in. Because somebody gonna always come in with their truth. Because what that person just said was the truth to them. Yo, you can't trust women because that's the truth to him.
Yeah. That's their
That's
reality.
his reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we in the same space, but that's his reality.
Yeah.
That's his experience. That's his journey. That ain't what I saw, man. This is like you ever saw the movie Vantage Point with
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker? Everybody that was telling the story, they played the same story from three or four different vantage points, and everybody saw something different, but the same thing.
Wow. You're right.
That's life every day.
Yeah.
You going, I'm coming. Man, the traffic bad this way. Man, the traffic good this way. But we was in the same space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how life is. You perfect your lane. You perfect your. You control your speed. You control your atmosphere. You cut the air down. You cut it up
Right.
in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to drive mine, bro.
Yeah.
I'm driving the speed limit. You get on. You get on over there in the slow lane with that, cause I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
Go on over there in the fast lane with that, cause I'm early for where I'm going. But we on the same path.
Yeah.
Stop looking in somebody else's vehicle. Look in your own vehicle.
Yeah.
What we talked about the other day. Start with you.
Absolutely.
That's if you perfect your mind. I'm talking to you as an individual in this book. If you perfect your mind, your body, and your spirit, you can live a fulfilled life. That's what life about. It ain't about being happy. It ain't about being rich. It ain't about none of that stuff that somebody to make a dollar told you was the life. It ain't about none of that.
Yeah. Well, how do you like we talked about being happy. Tell me where you're at with happiness being the key to life. How do you think it's the key to life? What's your views on that?
Nah, it ain't. It can't be the key to life. Cause everything I did that made me who I am was hard. Everything I did was what everybody else didn't want to do. So you can't tell me being happy is the key to life when the lock was locked by pain, suffering, sacrifice. Do people really know what that word is? Do people really know what sacrifice is? Like they throw it around, But you gotta sacrifice something for everything, no matter what it is. If I spend time with you, I'm not spending time doing something else. If I'm buying something that you selling, I can't buy with the same dollar something else. Giving up something that you really want, that you truly cherish, is the only way to get something of more value.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only way. So if you spend your time doing things that at the end of the rope you proud of, those was the only thing worth doing. Because everything else, you could do drugs and it can make you happy, man. But it gonna kill you. It's gonna kill your relationships. It's gonna kill the relationship with your wife, with your kids, with your family.
Yeah.
But it made you happy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't chase happy, man. I don't chase happy. I usually chase the hard. I never did it the easy way. When I graduated school with my associates, I worked a third shift job. I was in the military part-time, and I went to school full-time. So
Yeah.
I would go to work. You got to start the night before. I would go to work
Yeah.
and get off work, close my eyes for about 3-4 hours, wake up, beat everybody to school. Never was late. Boom, I'm in that joint. Boom. Dean's list.
Yeah.
Pass. Leave school. Soon as I leave school, I only had enough time to get to my job, change in the parking lot until my work closed, and do it again. And on the weekend, when people was off, that's when I had drill.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I figured out, like, doing what everybody else don't want to do is the way. I want to hear you say what you won't do, because you already gave me the play what to do. You gave me the tool. Oh man, how you selling DVDs? I never do that. Bro, I bought a house and 2 cars off of doing that. I'm glad you won't do that, because I ain't got to compete with you when it comes down to it. I don't got to share it. I will never compete with you, but I don't got to share my clientele with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How can you go to school, come straight here, and work and perform high at work, and then go home, do homework, and then do it again? Because you won't do it. So I always have what you won't have, because you ain't willing to do it. You too proud. You too lazy. You too tired. You too something, but you ain't too successful. So you stay whatever that means. And that's not to knock anybody. That's reality. I live in reality, man.
Yeah.
I live in reality. If you ain't willing to do that, like if you work out with me and I see you going hard, expect them results, bro. But don't expect results for the work you ain't willing to put in, dog. How can you do that? Because if you do that, bro, you'll look at me and expect to get what I got, and you didn't do the work. You might do something to me.
Right. Yeah.
If you built like that, you will never be an arm's length next to me.
Yeah.
Because them kind of people can't. I work too hard.
Yeah.
I'm working while you sleep. I'm up. I sleep fast.
Yeah.
I sleep quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Get it over
saying?
with so we can get back to the business. Right. So check it, right? So all throughout the book, you quote different authors, right?
Right.
Now, you either well researched, which I'm sure you are, and I know you are, or you love books as well. So how is it? Do you consume? How do you consume books? How do you consume knowledge? Are you like a bookworm? Do you prefer like the audio books while you're on the move? How do you do it? And how important is reading?
Man,
Because I know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I know you're about to speak. Over and over again, a recurring key to your success has been the information. So I know that how are you going about this information? See what I'm saying? Because if that's the key, because I don't think everybody's an efficient learner.
right.
People learn in different ways, but everybody's not effectively gifted at learning.
It's gonna be so funny when I tell you this because it's so simple. A smart man learns from his mistakes.
Right.
A wise man learns from another man's mistakes. You know how much faster I'll get to my destination if I don't get bogged down by the same mistake you made.
Yeah.
With your information, I can get to my destination faster, efficiently, less time, less costly. I can get there.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't, if we were young and we were playing in a field, and I played in this field before you, and I fell in a hole, and I didn't broke my leg last summer. And we playing in that same field this summer, and I don't tell you, watch out for that hole. You gonna go through the same pain and agony I went through.
Yeah.
Why would I subject that on you? Hey, bro, you're gonna lose your whole year. You might lose an inch off your body.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a yellow flag in that hole. Man, we out that joint. We having fun. No interruption in the fun, because I warned you about the situation out there.
Yeah.
I learned that when I was a little kid. My uncle would tell me certain things, and I could look at it two ways. My uncle smoked weed like all the time. He was confined to a wheelchair when he was 19 years old. He stayed in a wheelchair for like 50 years, and he lived off a little piece of liver. And they been told him he was supposed to be dead, but he was such a fighter. He made it for 50 years, right? So, first lesson he taught me, boy, don't you smoke. Don't you do that. Now, had I thought with my eyes, how can you tell me not to smoke while you enjoying?
Yeah,
You know
and
what I'm
you're
saying?
somebody
You
that I
enjoy-
like. Like I
look
enjoy
up
you.
to you.
Yeah, and you're
How
doing it.
can you? And I thought about it this way. What if he just not strong enough? But he telling me how he truly feel, but he don't have the power to change it. So he gonna try to change how I view it. Even though you see me doing it, drinking beer,
Yeah.
don't do it. And that's how I chose to take it. That's how I chose to take it. Like, bro, he ain't strong enough to kick that joint.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wish he had not been exposed to it. But that's all he know to take him away from the reality that he living.
Right.
So I was like, bro, what if I don't, like, I always hear how hard it is to kick the habit. What if I don't ever start it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
wise man learn from another man's mistake.
That's crazy. So like to the information gathering and learning, like what's your approach with that? Just read a lot.
I don't know enough. I don't know enough. I don't know enough. That's why I tell myself I don't know enough. And information's changed. Information's changed every day. Information change. New information. New information. New information. There ain't no way I can hit the settings bar on my phone and update my phone and not update the ultimate computer. God's first computer.
Right.
How can I not update that?
Right.
And it take a manual update. It don't just update while I'm sleeping, bro. It update while this vehicle is operating. So I gotta separate time. I gotta make time into my schedule to feed this,
Yeah.
and to feed my soul. I
Right.
gotta schedule that. Cause the moment I'm too busy for either one of them three, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So how can I not? That's how I think.
Yeah.
How can I not? If I don't work out one day, man, I feel like crap. And I like,
Yeah.
how can I not?
Yeah.
Not how can I? Because most people think, how can I get it done?